The Elegoo Mars took the budget-friendly resin printer scene by storm in 2017 due to its price-to-performance ratio and excellent build quality. Today we'll take a look at its newly released big brother, the Elegoo Saturn, and see if it can produce the same high-detail models despite its much larger build volume. As with most resin printers, the assembly was minimal and the calibration was as easy as lowering the bed until it firmly held the included bed level card in place, then tightening 2 screws to secure the build plate position. The fit and finish on this machine is excellent. I was happy to see 2 linear rails on the Z-axis as opposed to 1 on the Mars. This ensures the Z-axis stays well aligned and rigid during printing. This machine boasts a 2560 by 1600 resolution masking LCD and a build volume of 200 on the X, 160 on the Y, and 200 on the Z. That's larger than my first FDM machine's build volume. Resin printers are mainly used to produce small, intricate things like jewelry, tabletop miniatures, and larger high-detail models that would be challenging for an FDM machine. So I set up some tests for each of those categories. Up first, a build plate jammed full of rings and pendants to test this machine's ability to print jewelry. All models will be linked in the video description. One thing I should mention is that I started filming this review during the initial wave of COVID-19 and had a hard time sourcing large quantities of isopropyl alcohol for proper cleanup. My cleanup routine consisted of a pure iso wash, then a diluted iso wash, and finally a lengthy cure time in the sun with some periodic model rotations. Not really the ideal way to post-process resin prints, but the best I could do given the circumstances. Up next, some tabletop miniatures from the upcoming game from Plastic Alchemy called Kordran Conflict. It's a strategy board game with pieces that you can print and customize yourself. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in that. On these models here, you can really see where I was unable to wash the resin away, resulting in some of the details being covered up. Finally, a model that I've been eyeballing for quite some time, but knew I couldn't pull off on my FDM machine. The Wraith from Masashi Kyojin Studio. I ran out of resin on my first attempt and had to restart the print in another color, but this model turned out great. Overall, I think the price to print quality on this machine is great. Print times are fast and only increase when adding more layers on the Z-axis. This means it takes the same amount of time to print one ring or miniature as it would to print a whole build plate of them. I'm by no means an expert in resin printing, especially the post-processing, so take all my results as more of a first look. There will be lots more resin printing on the channel to come. I put a quick coat of semi-gloss black paint on this model, and it's safe to say that this is one of my favorite things I've ever printed. If you think this machine would be a good addition to your workflow, I'll drop a link in the description for where you can pick it up. One thing to note is that the retail release of this machine features a monochrome screen, which drastically reduces the layer exposure time by being able to put more UV light through the screen itself. Thanks for watching, and happy printing.